Nice.
What's up? What's up? What's up,
Oh, we
everybody?
live? Oh, what's
Welcome
up? What's
back
happening? What's
to the
happening?
Daily Smoke
Absolutely,
Live on this
absolutely.
Monday.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lord.
Oh man, shit. That's right.
Thank
man.
you, Lord,
I
for
did not wanna
another
come
day.
in today. I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Blackhand.
Brother Black Hand on the cam as always, and thank you all for joining us. Much love,
Absolutely.
your support.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
it's Monday. How y'all feeling today?
I feel good, man.
Yeah.
I feel
You
good.
getting better? You feel better?
Yeah, man. It's day by day, man. You know,
Okay.
it's day by
We
day.
missed
So
you and shit.
thank you, man. I'm glad to be back.
You know?
I'm glad to be back. But you know, it's one thing.
I
Like
had to deal with my silly ass for
I loved it. I like what you did. I like what you did, man. I like how y'all held it down, Bobby. I like what you did, man. Yeah, what was the WTF show?
Oh yeah, the what the fuck?
I think that's something we ought to like explore, man.
Yeah, maybe once a month, see if they
You know what I mean?
bring us some of your
I think
rants, and let me see if we agree with them.
I
too,
think that's
you
a
know?
very necessary show.
You know,
You know what I mean?
Like, see, I'm so mean that I probably agree with a lot of their rants.
I think that's a very necessary show, man.
You know,
for real.
get it out. Really, let's rant.
Coming soon, we got a new show coming.
You
The
know?
WTF moment. We're gonna talk
But
about
it's
that.
interactive. You
It
have to
is
interact.
interactive.
Because if
Yeah.
not, then it won't be nothing.
Yeah.
You have to tell us what you got. We
Yeah.
told you what ours were the other day. Even Sexy Dexter came in and said some of his and shit.
Yeah, man, I like what y'all did. Dex came through and everything. I like what y'all did, man. I enjoyed it, for real. Yeah, I really did. But thank y'all so much also for being there for me, man, because I hadn't been feeling good at all. And I had a lot of, people that was in my corner that really helped me. So thank y'all so much for that helped me, as well as y'all. Thank y'all for holding it down, man.
Gotta do
Thank
what
you
we
so
gotta
much.
do.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
my dad right there, man, with a beard.
That's what's up,
That's what I
man.
look like when I look at
That look like
myself.
your
That's my dad with a fucking beard,
Yeah,
and he used to wear Kangos and hats all the time.
old school.
When I look at my legs, I don't see my legs. I see
Your
my dad's
dad's
legs. It's like, damn, like, damn. It's like, how much, all the years growing up, people, man, you look just like your dad. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. No, I don't. I look a whole lot different than my dad. As the older I got, I start seeing it now. Man, like I said, my dad didn't have a beard. He was military, clean shaven all the time.
That's
Every here and there, he'd let a little gray go, but he couldn't stand that shit.
Yeah.
Military.
Once you get to that
He
point,
had to get hair always nice, and he used to hate when we'd have froze and shit. Like,
Yeah.
y'all need to cut your hair. When we were younger though,
Yeah.
I was fucking military, that jarhead cut. Like, hey, right? And then you had to wear what the female military people call the rape prevention glasses. Them black
Rape
ones.
prevention.
Yeah, that's what they call them, because ain't nobody gonna want none of this. Wear
That's
these damn funny ass Poindexter glasses and shit.
You know
Yeah,
what though?
it's
Believe
like
it or
that.
not, I've always found those type of women to be the sexiest at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's always the ones that really most conservative. That when you catch them and they can be in that element, man, and they like real comfortable with you. They're a lot beautiful and finer than they put on to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
They really women like that. That's how they are, man. That's how they are.
I'm trying to say the freaks come out.
Yeah, that's how they hide. That's how they hide. They used to hide the librarians, your teachers.
Oh, the librarians are always the freakiest,
Exactly.
right?
Your biologists, your
Right.
psychologists,
The Catholic schoolgirl.
yeah, the cat. Those was
Like, they're supposed to
always,
be the
yeah,
most conservative and more
yeah.
Those are the ones that are, those are.
Just think about it, dudes like we like women that, when we first see them, we're conditioned where like, if you got something less, like less covering you up, you know what I mean, more revealing, and we get to see your body more, like, we like that, and we do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good with just tight shit on. I don't have
You
to
know
see
what I
the
mean?
body.
Something
As long as
revealing.
Just to shows your
Right.
colors, I'm good
Leaves
with that. You don't
little,
have to show me
leaves little
skin.
to the imagination,
Right.
in terms of what she
I already
is.
know what color you are by your hands.
You know what I
and your
mean?
face, so
But the
I can
ones that
put that
catch you off
together
guard, man, are the nerds.
Right,
The ones
right.
that's real conservative. The ones that the Catholic school girls, as you say,
Right.
like for real.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're the ones you should be on the lookout for, man. Yeah, for real. And speaking of being on the lookout, hey, we first and foremost we want to look out for our sponsors, the people that believe in us, As we, when we were struggling to believe in ourselves. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors, partners, and affiliates. And starting off with Bangin' 832 Radio. Past episodes of the Daily Smoke every Sunday at 7 p.m. Go to www.bangin832.com. And there, every Sunday at 7 p.m., you can catch us. It'll be one of our previous shows, that we've conducted from earlier, well, now it's this year,
They should have already done
that they should have already seen, But check it out. I think you guys might like it. I appreciate you guys for really supporting us. Thank you so much, Bangin' 832. Thank you.
Sure enough.
And then next up, we have Miss Tamia's Touch of Care Massage. To get with life, get with a massage.
Touch my body.
Dum. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So go to www.tamiaanderson.com. Support this sister. She is an entrepreneur. She's also a veteran. And we are so proud to have her as a part of our platform and the support of our platform. She's been sending guest tours. What's up, my cousin here? What's up, Danny? What's up? She's been sending, thank you, Bobby. She's been sending, people that want to come on to the show. So hopefully, I know we're sorry, late getting back to you, but we do appreciate you, for being patient with us. And yes, you are welcome to come on the show at any time. Thank you so much, Tamir Anderson. Thank you for putting a good word out. Remember, guys, to get with life, get a massage. Tamir's Touch of Care Massage Therapy, okay?
That's my body.
Absolutely. And then next up, we have the Buy Black Marketplace. Black Vendor Market Ultimate Pop-Up Experience every first and third Saturday of each month. So at these marketplaces, you can not only be a vendor, but you can also, just be a supporter, if you will. Hey, put your money where your mouth is, where your heart is. So, support these.
What's up, D?
What's up, D? So support this platform, and this venue at the Shrine of the Black Madonna every first and third Saturday of each month. You can have free yoga classes. They have African history classes. Most of y'all need some class, most of y'all. You know what I mean? We need to be educated, for real. We need to be educated. They got African history class. That's very important. And then also they have different Ellie scents and different foods and items you can try that's probably one of our very own. Because they make all of the items, the jewelry that you get there themselves, so it'll never be duplicated.
One of a kind.
It's a one of a kind. It really is. So please support the Buy Black Marketplace at the Shrine of the Black Madonna every first and third Saturday of each month. And then next up, we have Puff Passage, CBD and more. 4130 and a half Cavalcade, Houston, Texas, 77026. Check them out. She's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. She has her own website. She's on Yelp. And last but not least, hey, if you want to contact her by way of email, just go to, type in puffpassage20@gmail.com. Or you can call Tanya directly. Her name is Tanya Ashley, and she always takes good care of us every time we go there. You can reach her at 713-766-6631. So thank you so much, Tanya, for believing in us and supporting us.
We had to have while you were reading that, the background, pass the tip on the left hand side. When you were reading that, we should have had that in the background. Pass the tip on the left as you're reading that shit.
That's pretty cool.
You know what I'm saying?
That is pretty cool, listen. I like that.
So, but that place was cool though. I like that spot, man. It's
yeah.
It's one of those I don't get out too much, and that's way out there.
I feel you.
That's way out there.
I feel you.
But we do have a good time every time we do go, and we do plan on coming back. So
absolutely.
Nice. You can't forget us.
Absolutely. Last but not least, we have the Daily Smoke. That's us. www.theddailysmoke.com. Come and visit us each and every time if you want to know what episodes are coming up, what we're going to be talking about. You'll know if we're going to have a guest that day, because at least 2 weeks out, we have all of our episodes pre-planned. So unless we have a guest that's coming in, but we'll update the website even if we have a guest coming in. Hopefully it will be soon. But yeah, so you can go and see what we're up to, where we're going to be, if we're going to be traveling somewhere else in the city or attending a public function. That's where you'll find all of that information at thedailysmoke.com. For donations and support at Cash App, go with the $TD Smoke. Okay, so don't forget we could use any and all donations, and we thank you. And we're so graciously, great. What's the word I'm looking for? We're so ingratiated that some people have already,
the brother
given to us.
some today.
Brother Morris did.
Yeah.
And, we had a couple other people with the platform that have given as well. So thank you all so much. Thank you so much. And if you cannot give money, whatever's in your heart, that's really what it's all about.
Right.
And if you can just go ahead and just watch our, our show, even if you can't watch it live, you just come out and support us just by showing up, saying how we're doing in the chat, chat box, or, staying and watching the whole show. We really appreciate your support in that way, okay? So thank you so much, all of you. All of you. So what else we got up, my brother?
About it. I mean, make sure y'all tune in Wednesday. Got a good show coming up.
Oh yes,
who
we got?
Part 2 of bring your. What is it? Bring
Build your own brain.
Build your own brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we get them. Him and Captain Hodge mixed up because they're both built.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's supposed to be part 2. He's gonna come back and talk more about what he does there.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. That's cool. That's
so
very
make sure
cool.
y'all tune in Wednesday, 7:00.
Absolutely.
So, catch that. But today, like I said, it's Monday. Tired.
I feel you.
I'm still getting. I ain't got no more meat on my back, man.
They've been whipping you.
Ain't got nothing else to whip.
They're whipping your man.
All the meat is gone.
Is it that bad,
As soon
man?
as they start to heal, they whip that right off. Like, goddamn.
Man,
It's like, it's got busy as fuck. Like, man, this is crazy.
is it usually like this on Monday?
No, this has been like this for the past week, man.
Oh, really?
I'm mentally drained.
Are you?
I'm like, man, Friday I was done. I was done on Friday. I couldn't take that shit no more. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And I'm thinking, go get another job and then it'd be worse. I'm like, fuck
Can you
that.
imagine?
I'm like, that would really be crazy. Because then I
Can you
really would say,
imagine?
fuck it, then I'm not doing shit.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, this has been pretty rough, man. And then now, today I did not want to come in. I kept thinking, man, I'm just gonna be sick and shit.
I feel you.
I said, no, that'd be fucked up. I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna go to work, do what I gotta do. Fuck it. Like I said, I can only do but so much. So, hey, just make sure you don't come at me with some bullshit. Because if you do, you're gonna have to fire my ass. I'm going off.
You know what, Los? I know, like, we got a couple of shows coming up with, where at least, Danessa has her next event coming up.
That's right. That's another thing to tune in for this week.
And I think one of the things that I don't know what part of the wheel this will fit on, but I think one of the things we should discuss with our audience sometime is the importance of making sure you're okay, while trying to work.
Right.
Because a lot of times, I think one of the things that we really hadn't discussed as much is what are the things that we do to make sure we stay healthy so we can always bring a time like this to our audience.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we have to take care of ourselves.
Right.
And sometimes if we don't take care of ourselves, we may find ourselves getting stressed out and building up physical conditions now because of prolonged, sustained stress. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I experienced that when I was this past week.
Yeah.
And it came from just at the end of the day, the answer is you got to take better care of yourself. And if we don't really have those conversations
Sandy?
with, hey Sandy, how you doing, love? Thank you for coming. Good to see you, love. But I think if we don't have those conversations with each other about how to appropriately manage stress in the workplace, I think that's leaving out an important component.
Right.
We don't really talk about that too
For
much.
me, I mean, it's not so much the stress. It's just I'm not trying to do this shit. So I'm not trying to fuck with that. And if it's a certain type of stress, I know I can deal with it because eventually I tell myself, you know what, this is all I can give you. If you don't like it, get rid of my ass. Simple as that. That's just if I'm not doing enough for you, then fire because this is all I can do. So that's why that takes it away. Plus in the evenings, I get my blaze on, and that just
Mellows you
that
out.
takes all that shit out. That takes all
feel
that
you.
shit away.
I feel you.
It took me it took me to say, well, fuck this job, I'm quitting, but I was one of the major players to get the production done. When they heard that shit, like, no, quit. Like, dude, I'm tired of this shit, I'm just done with it. And they went out their way to change a lot of shit so they get a calmer atmosphere, and I'm like, wow, it took me the threat of quitting for y'all to do this shit. What was it in the beginning? So like, why y'all bringing all this?
Because you ain't threatened to quit, nigga. So that's why. You ain't threatened to quit, so we just leave it. I guess you like that shit. That's how they saw it.
I can do the job. So I'm like, yeah.
You know, Jam used to share with us, some of his frustrations.
Right, when he would have to work some of them people. Some of that was at work stuff, but some of it too was these clients that he had to deal with.
But that's part of the job.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Interesting.
Have that shit. But yeah, like I said, for me, it's like I deal with stress kind of good. I know that once I feel stressed, I'm trying to get rid of this shit. And I know how I even get my smoke on, and I know I start thinking about something else, and that shit just goes away. And when it's there, when I don't smoke, I just learn to, like I said, hey, this is out of my hands. This is all I can do. This is all you get. If you don't like it, get rid of me. I don't give a fuck because, hey, I know you have a job to do, and if I'm not doing it well, then get rid of my ass. Even I'm not gonna sit there and say, but you do know you put me under a lot of fucking stress to do the job, and then so in other words, but I'm not gonna say that because you already know that shit, So if you're willing to get rid of me, and I know you can't because you really need motherfuckers real bad and shit. Matter of fact, if you are in the travel industry, let me know. I get you a job. They're looking for motherfuckers bad.
Interesting. Because I think I know this isn't the subject tonight, but we just talking. I think that's one of the things that we haven't been discussing. And when I say we, I don't mean us as a company, but I mean us as a group, because we assume that once the workplace shifted from a building and a bunch of strangers you came to learn, you're now at home.
Right.
So we tend to think, and then people said, hey, man, when they had to go back to the office, they said no, they called it the Great Resignation.
Right.
So, we would think that occupational stress should be lower because of all these X, Y, and Z factors. You know what I mean? But that may not be the case. But we're not having that conversation either.
Right. Speaking of Jam, what's up, Jam?
Oh, there he is.
Talk
You can talk to us all about. Exactly.
So it was, but I guess we don't. So in other words, you're guilty because you ain't talked to us about that shit. What happened?
So
did you realize what was going on? Is what it was.
When it happened, I knew exactly what was going on.
Okay.
Not lying to myself.
Prior to that,
if I'm being honest.
Prior to that, though, you weren't sure that that's what's going on.
Rolling the dice.
Just going and see it.
Rolling the dice. I'm just being, and it had nothing to do with the job. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just you're not, and I'm, I can only speak for me. You're not going to be able to lie to yourself when you're sick and something's wrong, and you know for a fact it could have been prevented. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just, and either you can continue making those poor decisions and stay in poor health, or you can be healthier and make better decisions.
Right.
It's really that simple.
True.
And now, depending on how I answer that may affect my ability to work or not work. But if we just focus on the occupational part and not the symptom, you know what I mean? Or sorry, the cause.
Right.
And just the symptom, then you'll keep going in that circle.
Right.
So yeah, man, I really thank God for what happened and everything, and I come back better. But I don't think we're having those kind of conversations because we're only having the conversation as far as it's concerned to be, hey man, should I go back to the work or should I not go back to work? But once that question has been answered, then it's like, okay, cool. Now you're having to deal working in a different way, different dimension, different factors, but you still have stress.
Right. Because it's almost like you're at the office.
It's almost like you're at the office. Exactly. So we're right back
to everybody I talk to over the Zoom.
Exactly.
We always chatting back and forth. So it's like I'm at the office.
Exactly.
It's just I don't have to smell your ass.
Exactly. But you still have the same stress, the interaction. Right. We're not having that conversation.
Just like, so in other words, we didn't go to work, but So the really good part is we're not adding extra, especially Houston. We're not adding the extra getting to work and home stress.
No, you don't have. No, you know what you have. You don't have like you have stress. You've been removed from the stress of road rage, but now, you know, you tearing shit up in your house. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's something as simple as that. You know, not saying it always has to be that way, but that energy has to go somewhere, and it's gonna go somewhere.
Right.
You know, period. It's gonna go somewhere. We're not having those conversations, man. For real.
Get that shit out on PlayStation.
You know,
For real, man.
go kill some shit.
For real. And that's not to say, like, you know, it comes in every form in an unexpected way, not always being overwhelmed. Yeah, man, like, I always welcome a challenge. So I welcome the stress of doing something hard. But when I don't manage that properly, then that's when it's a problem for me. Now it starts to get stressful on me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now it's getting stressful on me.
Right, I feel you on that because I don't mind getting into something. I know that I'm gonna get this done.
You know what I mean?
It motivates me to get that.
You know what I
shit done,
mean?
you know, but when you let it fuck with you, then
You know, then it's like a little rabbit hole,
you
isn't
don't
it?
get that shit done at all.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And then the
man.
closer you get to where it's supposed to be done, the more you're gonna be like, no, I ain't did shit yet. I gotta
Right.
do this shit. That means I
Right.
got tonight.
Right.
That's why I always say
Right.
laziness creates more work.
Right,
That's,
right.
I've always
Yeah.
said that the laziness will create more
I used to be a
work.
big time procrastinator.
Yeah,
I did.
wait till the last minute.
I
That's how
would.
you went through school. Last
Oh,
minute.
well, undergrad, I did. Yes, undergrad, absolutely, yes. And you know, interesting enough, I also do my best work under that kind of stress too.
Yeah.
I do my best work,
I
man.
feel you on that because it's like you're concentrating more than you normally would.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because you know that you got to get.
You just can't
done.
sustain that. You
don't
know,
want just some
you can't
mediocre
sustain
shit.
that.
You got to get some good shit.
Like going from crisis to crisis to
Right,
crisis.
right,
You may be good at handling a crisis, but you don't want to go through them continuously. You know what I mean?
Wear you the fuck
It
out.
will wear you out.
Shit
It
will
will
wear you
wear you
out.
out.
But they say stress will kill your ass.
Yes, it will.
Fuck around with stress. Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we got to talk about that more often. Feeling some stress, let us know.
Yeah, man. You know, tipping. What's it? 3 and 7.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, this shit is fun. This shit is fun. This is not stressful.
It's not stressful at all.
me, you know,
It's not stressful at all. Like doing this show is not stressful. Like this show is a
It
work.
is.
It's a labor of love. So we're very comfortable.
We'd be doing this anyways if the camera went there. We'd be
Absolutely.
chilling, watching something on TV. playing
Absolutely.
PlayStation, you know, talking
Absolutely.
shit, talking what we do. That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
And we don't mind people coming and hanging out and talking about that with us too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, that shit is crazy.
You know, speaking of love, man, tonight's show is centering around just that very word. And tonight's show, aptly titled "Your First Memories of Your First Love." I thought that would be a good topic because I think we somehow can try to call ourselves hiding behind our intellectualism. And what I mean by that is, if you always talk about things that are theoretical, then you never really have to talk about anything hard about you, because everything is cerebral. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no real personal connection to it. So who cares if the sun goes around, the earth goes around the sun so many times, whatever. Yeah, we live on earth, but that's cool. That's as far as it goes. Good for you. You know those numbers. But then if I ask the question, hey, man, describe your life on that planet.
That's
See,
a whole different
we have a different involvement now, don't we?
Now you're talking. You want me to tell you
A
about
little bit more
me.
vulnerability, isn't it?
That's something different. I can tell
Exactly.
you about all of us living here.
Exactly.
You know, but not just me.
Can't hide.
You know, sure enough.
You can't hide. And that's why I thought tonight talking about love, man, and our first memories of it. And I'm not talking about the kind of love you have for your mom and dad. Not talking about that. I'm not talking about the kind of love like something, you know, that's, you know, you found your life purpose and all this kind of stuff. I ain't talking about that. Tonight, I want us to really talk about the memories that we have and how it impacted us of the first person that we loved. like who you had a crush. We call it a crush now, puppy love or something like that.
But that's what we're saying, you know, like Bobby, we were talking about this earlier, and about it's like, was it love or was it just infatuation? You know, so we don't.
You
not
still
sure what
remember?
it is. So that's what you're saying. Even if you
still
remember, you know,
This is what I'm saying, and I'm giving no one nowhere to run tonight. This is exactly what I'm saying. That feeling you had when you saw this person, and you was about 5 or 6 years old, and you knew you wanted this person in your life because they was gonna be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You know that you that's why you smile, and thank you for being honest, Bobby, because everybody knows. I don't, you know what I mean? Like everybody knows like who they fell in love with and why you got married and all of that, and it's with me. I get all that whoopty whoop. I want to talk about, man, what was your first love like? And you know who that person is. Because whenever you ask somebody that question, Bob, you know what they start doing? They start blushing. They start smiling. You start seeing.
I know. I'm sitting here
you
thinking,
feel me?
going
Like,
back as far as I can go, like you said, you know, not so much 5, 6, because 5, 6 years old, I was, you know, in school and shit. My teacher and shit, I liked her, boy. She was fine. She was fine.
there it is. It was something about her, right?
Okie dokie. She always said that. First time I ever heard somebody say that shit. To me, at that age, I might have been like 7 or so. I can't remember what.
That's
grade.
cool.
She was fine. That lady was bad. Like, ooh, I knew I was.
How did you feel, man? Like, if you could
I just
describe
like
that
seeing her,
feeling.
you know, like the way she looked, she was so pretty to me. Like, you know, I didn't mind coming to class every day. Like, ooh, I'm gonna go see this pretty lady. Get into class, see her, like, ooh, look at how pretty that lady is.
Wow.
And if you're gonna talk about shit like that, other than that, growing up more, I remember a girl named Elizabeth,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember trying to get with her, but I don't remember if I ever did, or it was just someone that I wanted to get with her because I liked another one. I liked the way she looked, you know, and the way she interacted and how nice she seemed. So, but I don't remember other than that, you know, like all the rest of us. I don't remember. Those are the earliest ones I can remember.
Really?
And you can still remember them, you know.
When you remember them, what do you remember about it?
You know, just you know how I felt at the time for them, and trying to remember why. I actually, you know, I would hope, because some of these are so far back that the visual's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the visual's gone from me. You know, for a while when I was younger, I could still see her face.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. Now I just remember, you know, how she might have looked. This, you know, it was your first fatal.
What about you, Bobby?
We going back, way back. It was like an after-school care program that I went to. I was like really young. I don't know if I was 6, 7, something like that. But it was this one chick that was there. She was cute, but
How old were you?
like 6, 7. And she was so, and then, you know, we started talking, then, you know, I just loved hearing her voice and being around her. And she was the same. But remember those, like the playground, we had that one, it looked like a spaceship or something.
I do.
It was me every day. Because we know that, you know, it's time for our parents to come pick us up. But we always met at the top, and we just hung out at the top. And it's like, that was, for me, I was like, I was just infatuated with it. It was like, wow. And
What was it about her?
just pretty much everything. Like, 1, 2, 2, you know, because I was always kind of a shy person. But you know, she brought the shyness out. So it's like I had no problem talking to her about anything, this and that. So I was infatuated. So, and that's my earliest memory of it. If you were to say love.
No doubt.
Made him feel,
No doubt.
made him feel not shy and shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what would have been funny? Because y'all known each other for long. Well, actually, Ron, your mama. Boy, she used to look real good to me, boy.
Oh, good.
First time I went to your crib.
Oh, good.
Who that? That's your mama? Man.
That is
You know?
funny. That
From that day on, I don't come over to play with you no more. Look at your mom. Let's play in the living room.
Crazy.
Let's play in the living room. Can we play in the kitchen?
Oh Lord.
Melissa was saying she was 12.
You were 12.
Yeah.
If you have an experience that you would like to share, because I'm noticing something.
Read what
But
she
I'm gonna
said.
wait. I'm gonna wait. Give us a call. Talk to us. We'd love to hear your voice. Call in to the number at the bottom of your screen. We'd love to have other people involved in this conversation.
Yeah,
Hey man, when you find yourself, and these aren't. They don't have a right or wrong answer to these questions.
You know what I'm thinking here about what's good about this? Because even though it's making you think, of something from the past that you loved, you got that, like right now I got that, like, that I'm happy as fuck feeling. Somebody's calling, no, that's that motherfucker Scam. Like, Scam, when I catch your ass, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, man. When you say, just go more into it, Lo.
No, I'm saying the feeling that I have right now from remembering these happy times in my life, making me feel real good right now. Like, just pump me up, It's like making us feel happy. This is a happy, good conversation, stress relieving type shit.
You know what I
You have
mean?
to think of stuff like that,
You know what I
Because
mean?
it would be totally different if you think about, some of the shit I've told you I've gone through. That shit, then I'd be like ready to kill a motherfucker, Right now, I'm ready to fuck. Like, hey, I'm happy. Hey, make me think of Miss Okie Dokie. That lady was fine, boy. Don't care what anybody says, she was fine. At that age, if I saw her, like when I saw her then, she'd probably be some ugly ass lady. But to me at that time, she was bad. She was so fine, boy. Yeah, I remember her. I like going to school.
But what did you do? Like how did you? So I assume like this person you really like. Did you find a way to like be around her?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of shit. What did you do?
Because of the way they had no setup, you had different stations, go to the play games, whatever. Wherever she went, I went. we hung out like that together. Just like wherever I went, she was right next to me. So we just had that connection. And then to one day, she was jumping on. I left the program, so I'm like, when I reverted back to my experience, I had to feel by myself. So
No, we got someone calling in. Oh, Vanessa calling in. That's what's up.
Lady D.
What's up,
Right,
man?
here's
What's
good.
happening?
Right, here's
What's
good,
happening?
Bobby.
What's going on, bro? We can talk to us. What's going on?
So, it's such a long story. I won't go into all of it. But my first love, I clearly remember because we met outside my great grandmother's house. His aunt, who was like our same age, like came and asked my grandmother, could I come out to the curb out there under the tree where everybody else was standing? And she was like, hey girl, my nephew likes you. And so, he was like, come over here. And I was like, you come over here. Like I was bold and stuff. Really, I was scared and I couldn't go no further. From right there at the edge of the driveway. But that's how we met. We later found out we had actually probably been around each other since we were babies. My aunt that helped raise me had made his stepmother's wedding dress.
Oh wow.
And so we had been around each other for a long time. We were kids, kept up with each other all through high school. When I got pregnant with my daughter, he lied and told his mom that the baby was his. It was after I graduated, he told him he was his, and that he needed to move me back to New Orleans because I was living here in Houston. And so his mom and they were all going for it and stuff, and I had to tell them, like, we've never even been together like that. But it was very admirable. And so they wanted me to still move there. Later, we did get engaged.
Really?
Yes, we actually got engaged. And he actually proposed to me at like the Jazz and Heritage Festival in New Orleans. So it was kind of hilarious because I really had to use that up. I mean, but he was like my best friend. He really was like one of my best friends, my biggest cheerleader. I could do no wrong in his eyes. and he was taken away from me in 1995. He was murdered, actually. And when you asked about, you said something about how did that person impact your life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the reason today why I value people in relationships the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like situations to end on a bad note if I can avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the relationship may not work out, but I at least want to be at peace with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of him. That's because of him. Because when he was murdered, actually, he was trying to surprise me and come to Houston, and I was being a brat about it. And so we had an argument, and I ended the conversation by saying bye. And we never said goodbye. He would say, I would say I love you. He would say for sure black. And so I said bye, and he said bye. And I said, yeah, bye. And he goes, for sure black anyway. That was the last thing I heard from him.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And so because of that, I'm always trying to be at least at peace with people because of him. Because of that, yeah. So I don't know, the whole subject, ironically, it's been 27 years now. But ironically, the whole subject, it did make me sad. It actually made me smile and laugh. And talking about first love, because it was just like hilarious. All of it was hilarious. So even though, it ended tragically, it was still like an awesome experience that I've never forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. A lot of years in my life, but yeah, never forgot.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, love.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Baron. So just like the message just called in, why don't somebody else call in and tell us about your first
Danny.
love?
Come on, Dan.
Yeah, Danny, since you want to talk so bad about him, let's talk good about him for a minute. if you
a
a lot of fatal attractions, that's funny.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, you always know the reason I thought another good reason to do this show would be like, I love how we light up when we talk about our first loves. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, like all of us, more often, well, I shouldn't say all of us, but most of us, as Vanessa, most of us aren't as fortunate to have someone that I would love in our life for so long.
I know.
You know what I mean? For like,
Especially me,
knowing them
man.
so
Traveling so damn much.
You know what I mean? Like it's we didn't meet because we was 18 and mutual consent, for relationship. We met when we were kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like when you said like you was really a kid, So I when you say when that person say they know you on a whole different level.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're in love with them.
Right.
But I've noticed that most people, if not all, when we're honest with ourselves and we even start thinking about our first love, at first you can almost say they're remembering that person.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that. I think we're remembering that feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, even with that other girl that I liked when I was younger, I can't see her face anymore. I
see
remember
what I mean?
her silhouette and her height and how she kind of looked, but I just know she was pretty as fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm not thinking of that. I'm just thinking about how every time I saw her and how I wanted to get with her, that made me feel good because she was just
that
pretty.
feeling.
Yeah, that feeling. That
you too, huh? You remember that feeling, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's just when you see that person, you just lit up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's why. I think it's because of that feeling that why some people are able to bounce back from the hurt because they really want that feeling. And then you got some people, just as equally understood, they don't want that hurt feeling anymore, so they'll not have this feeling. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that. Like they just, I just can't let myself be vulnerable like that, and that's cool. I have no say so. Say you should do that, shouldn't do that. I don't have no words on that other than, hey man. It's just something about when we really go to our first love, we get childlike again.
Right.
Even if you look at the way we smile, the people that are able to go there, the way that they smile, it's almost like you're looking at your inner child.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
All
Like
lit up. Like,
all lit up.
it's Christmas morning.
You feel what I'm saying? Like you start
tons of
feeling
toys.
like that kid in the picture, don't
Right,
you?
right. Sure enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause I didn't even think about that. Like, wow, you make me think about and I had to go back.
Go further
first
back.
Feeling.
Yeah.
That was it. And I'm like, wow, okay. And, even though I cannot remember a face,
Yeah.
but I remember that feeling.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow.
Burley said it's like that, it's like a good massage. Touch my.
Stupid. No doubt, brother Burley. Good to see you, man.
That's feels the same way. You get to laughing and get off.
Yeah.
You know, you start thinking about shit like
Yeah, man.
what hers is different, you know, because I never had a chance to be with no people like you guys know each other.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah.
Man, I meet you for I live places 6 months later, we're gone. Like,
Yeah.
damn, Pops, I just got here, just start meeting these mugs. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the only good thing was every so often you'd run into them again somewhere, so you knew somebody.
Right.
What, like, you know, I'd get to a new school, you know, for me, get to a new school after a while, that became routine. So, you know, the first couple of times it's a little nervous, and all of a sudden you see somebody walk by that you've been to school with before in another place. Yo, what's up? That right there, that just, you're good. That person runs you down, what's going on, and you're good from there. Shit. But I never had a chance to like be around someone for that long. I mean, now that I'm older, yeah, I've known people for like Rick Ray. I've known Rick
Right,
for
right.
35, 40 years almost.
What's up, Rick? Good to hear from you the other day, bro.
You know, so we've known each other for a long time, but it's not
Yeah.
like since childhood, you know.
Yeah.
You say you meet somebody 5, 6 years old, and now you're in your 50s, and y'all still know each other. Y'all know each other.
Yeah, for real.
Especially if y'all hung out like that, y'all know each other.
Man, I'll never forget this forever, and I still have a picture of it too. I remember my very first love, and at the time, not only did I know, and I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you the way it was. Like she was like the cutest girl in kindergarten, and I was her boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Or she like
And you know what I mean?
I'm
And
your
you know,
boyfriend.
hey, that's what it was. You know, she was my first girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I remember we broke up, and come to find out, in the third grade, her grandfather lived down the street from where I grew up and lived.
Okay.
So she used to be near me a whole lot. And I didn't know it, you know, until like 9, 10 years old. And then you like see her.
She's living right down the street. You can see her every day.
I saw her one day, Los. I saw her one day. It was early. It was early high school. She was pretty, but I got the same feeling then when I saw her. I went back there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That I was like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? Like last time I saw this person, I was in kindergarten.
Right.
But you know,
A little bit older.
and then now you live, your granddad lived down the street. You know what I'm saying?
That's because you've always been thinking about it.
Absolutely, I think so. I think so.
Subconsciously,
I think so.
So
I
all
think
of a
so.
sudden you see her again. It's like, oh shit.
I
Damn,
think so.
what's up?
I think
You're
so,
all
man.
happy and you get that feeling.
think so.
And all of a sudden your mind changes to when you were little.
Yeah.
Like you were like, you're my
Yeah.
girlfriend. You T-bone her ass. You're my girlfriend. You know.
That's crazy, man.
She didn't do that shit when you saw her.
Nagatooth and all. But it was kindergarten.
Across the street, so
Huh?
my first girlfriend lived across the street.
Really?
Yeah, and she was all about me.
What's she popping?
Is that the one that come to you? Is that the one you were telling me about the other day?
No, this is earlier.
Earlier
And
than
then,
that, okay.
But no, she was all about me. But
What's she popping?
yes, and for me it was like, why you so clingy? It was like, why you
Bobby
clingy?
abused her. Bobby abused her. Why you like me so much?
But I didn't understand. You know, it
No
was
milk money.
I said, why you all up under me? But I didn't understand at the time. You know, I was just being me. So it
Yeah.
was like, you know, I'm just being me. But
She
was just
devoted him. You're my
always-
boyfriend.
Back you didn't want me. Now you're all on me.
Basically what happened, like, what
That's
Does
funny.
kindergarten love really count?
Hell yeah, it does. That's the one. That's the one I'm talking
Like,
about.
sure
You
that
know what I
just-
mean? That's the one I'm talking about. That's your first love. That was your first true love. It was kindergarten. That was your first true love, man. I'm here to tell you.
You know,
And I know for a fact it was because if you look at most of the women that I dated in my life, you can see a line of continuity. You know what I mean? Like
they all had a cuckoo
that's-
clock in front of them.
exactly. That's for one. That's important because that's important. That's very important. Can't deny yourself. So you know, it's. But I mean, like there are certain women. Like if somebody say, "Hey man, wrongs with this chick," you can look at it and know y'all lying. You know what I mean?
Right,
That says that he don't do that. You know what I mean?
Like,
Okay.
we'd be with
There's a certain look, and everybody has it.
Right.
Every man has it, at least as far as I know. I think every woman has it. I can't speak for a woman, but I think they have a certain type, right? And if you look at your types, man, I guarantee you find that same line. It'll somehow, in one way or another, it'll equate to that first love, man. I guarantee you. Somehow,
Sure
it'll equate to it.
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
Case in point, as young as I can remember, you know who were two women I was really crazy about?
Huh.
Eartha Kitt and Natalie Cole.
Yeah.
I love their eyes. I've always been an eyes man. You know what I mean?
Their eyes.
The eye colors can be the same. Maybe it's the contour of the eye itself.
The eyes.
I love eyes,
Right.
and if you when I think about most of the women that I find attractive now that I'm really crazy about, Rihanna makes sense to me.
She got those eyes.
She got those eyes. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense why you're all about that.
Right.
What doesn't make sense, and this has nothing to do with anything other than I just don't find her attractive. Like the chick, let's say, what's the name from Black Panther?
Which one?
The chick.
They're all chicks.
Well, I know, right? Black Panther is, right? T'Challa's sister.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
That chick, I don't find her attractive at all. I don't find her attractive. But that's not to say she's not a pretty woman.
Right.
I'm just not attracted
that's
to
just
that.
not you.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's an ugly woman. I would be out of my mind to say that. She's
Right,
very pretty.
right.
But I am just not into that. You know what I
Girl
mean?
from Discovery.
Just
Pretty motherfucker.
exactly.
That's just not you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, man.
On certain things, certain ways women look to some people. Like back in the day, everybody loves Farrah Fawcett. I wasn't into Farrah Fawcett
feel
at
you.
all.
Me
She was
neither.
I was
Me
not
neither.
into her at all. I'm like, nah, I like the other one, that Jacqueline Smith.
Yeah.
That look good. But then now that you say that Jacqueline Smith, that's how Elizabeth looked. Had that
See?
look.
See?
That was
You're-
the look.
like
just
it's there.
grown
It's
up.
there, man.
Now that I remember, that's how
It's
she looked.
there.
That's why I liked her so much.
It's
Yeah.
there for real.
Sure enough, man.
It's there. It is there, man. For real. You know, I think, man, if we can remember that feeling that we have and how important that is to us, like one of the things is that's also a time of like damn near absolute trust in your life.
Mhm.
You know, like whoever your first boyfriend was or whoever your first girlfriend was, one of the things that made that whole experience so beautiful also was like you just had blind, total 100% trust.
Right.
You had no reason not to. You know what I mean? So I mean, and of course, if there's abuse involved and all of the shit gets kind of skewed and changed.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
So
right.
we're not, and those are realities. You know what I mean? But we're not speaking to that. You know, there's room for change in everything, but we're not speaking to that. If all things being equal are like. Trust is very important in anything, especially when working with someone else. And I think when we find ourselves being unloyal or disloyal to our partners or someone we say we love or we married or whatever, we have to remember you're attacking that part.
Right.
It's bigger than what you're about to do. You know what I mean? It's bigger than what you're about to do. It's that when a person, like when you say you're committed to someone or you love someone, then part of that love is you being able to provide some sense of security. Because your first memories of love was trust.
Right.
So if you want that person to get anywhere back to that point, regardless of whatever bad things that may have happened, you have to somehow create an environment where you can replicate that first love experience somehow.
Right. Fair enough.
You know, and that's the tragedy of it when we do cheat on our others.
Now, and just to almost the opposite of that, isn't that the same almost for people that've been abused?
So
As they get older, they look for what was going on
So-
in their life.
Los,
Is that kind of intertwined there somehow?
it does. It's more. It's your question is more on the nail, the head of the nail. That it's unbelievable. Like,
And that's not love at all.
no, it isn't,
But
but it is familiar.
right. So it kind of feels.
It is
something
familiar.
Like you remember. So yeah.
And that is, for whatever reason, that experience speaks to us.
Right.
You know, to a point where, like, it's a miracle if you don't repeat that behavior, unless you have somebody else, something else to come along to say, "Hey, man, that's maladaptive. That's not a healthy way of being." You know what I mean?
Right.
Otherwise, you'll keep being that way. That's how you get your abusers, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, that's the thing, man. Like, I've never been. And like, especially if the abuse happened at an early age. Think about it. Let's think about it, because I don't know the answer. Let's think about it. So here's the time period. We're at a point where when you think about your first love, y'all think about your girl and you smile because you felt secure. Okay. What I'm about to say is happening around that same time in your life. Hey, man, like, nothing has been certain in your life. You've always been abandoned. You've always been physically abused. You understand what I'm saying? Now you're fucking with, that's the kids now say, now you're changing the coding. Because we don't none of us come wanting to get abused.
Right.
Abused, you know what I mean?
Right.
But when we come wanting that affection, that belonging, that nurturing, and we're giving something else hard against it, that's why I feel so bad for children that are adopted, because they aren't allowed to touch the kids when they're babies. That's going to mess with their sense of security and their ability to be able to connect with you on a real level.
Right.
Not this bullshit that how much they make, how many kids they got, how many times they've been married, you know, do they have a disease, do they have a job, none of that shit.
Right.
Like, I'm talking like, hey, man, regardless of what it look like, I connect with this individual because I love her, I love him, you know what I mean?
Right.
And nothing's going to interrupt that.
Right.
It may try at times, but nothing's going to interrupt that. Hey, man, when you're young and somebody's violating your trust like that through one of those types of abuses, if not all, how the hell do you bounce back from that?
That's all you know. So that's what you're gonna keep doing.
I mean, it can be done. We know people are doing
Yeah,
it.
you know,
But how are you doing
I
that?
don't know. I guess you gotta
Damn.
get help or something, or get on some medicine or some shit. Oh, that's what they do nowadays. You know,
Yeah.
give you some medicine and get some help. They really don't try to help you because you don't come out of that shit. But yeah, that's all you know, though. You don't know anything different. You know, you don't know anything different. This is what I know. You know, and after a while, you probably enjoyed it. You know, but you hated it at the same time. That's what they say. You know, love and hate, boy. That's thin line between the two.
I mean, we
But
had
they're so much so similar.
we hear Danessa talk about it all the time. Like, she says she comes from a family of domineering women, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And you know, she sees how that affects and has affected her personality and her character just as a person. You know what I mean? Like, good or bad, we don't know. She just always says, I was raised in that kind of environment. So that would explain some of her behaviors. You know what I mean? So that being the case, when you have situations where they're abused from that age, their dysfunction is a way of life.
Right. That's all they know.
That's all they know.
That's all I know. So without that, that's not my life. You know, I guess that's how you. I don't know how else you would see it. You know, how else would you see that shit?
Damn. I mean, we can throw out these monikers where if you can, you know, see it, you can believe it and achieve it, and all that, or you have to let go. You know how they come up with all these different, like, these sayings, and I get all that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in I'm interested in the mud, like where it's just you, and you have to deal with you and all your hang-ups. That must be a hell of a thing. It's like, start trusting.
Right. Like, who am I supposed to trust?
My God.
You know, the people closest to me were the ones that fucked this trust up. So how am I gonna trust.
Right, the person that I trust the close is the one that got me here.
Yeah, you know. So how am I gonna trust somebody that I don't know?
You know what I mean?
No fucking way you're gonna do some shit like that.
And we'll go find people that play out the roles of those individuals that they played in our life. Abandoned, you're gonna go find that kind of character.
Right.
Abuser, you're gonna go find that kind of character.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But if you then you start dealing with, if you start loving yourself more, you stop doing those behaviors. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you understand that I'm worth more than the way I'm being treated.
I guess that's the part. How do you get to that where you start loving yourself or know that I'm beyond that shit?
You gotta find a reason.
You know?
You gotta. I think even the worst of us as kids, I think we all still loved someone or something as bad as even if it was pet rat Bean. You know what I'm saying? Write a whole damn song behind it. My friend Bean, damn rat. We're gonna always find something to have that kind of connection with where we feel good. Just the human spirit will do that anyway. I just think that for us modern timers, it's an issue of we project that behavior that can be towards a thing, and we understand it in human terms in relationship to another significant other. You know what I mean? That's how we make sense of that feeling, and that's what we call love. And like, I think if we can somehow continue to bring that feeling up whenever you're trying to make a contact or a connection with somebody, I think that's where we start, man. I think that's where tomorrow gets better.
Right.
I think so, man.
Right.
I think so. But I'm just glad we was able to talk about it.
No one else is gonna call in. We're just about
Stay scared, man. I don't want to be vulnerable.
Now be vulnerable.
It's the most beautiful thing you could ever do. They want to talk
about their Miss Okie Dokie.
Oh man, it's the most beautiful thing you could ever do. You know what I mean? That's one of the best things, man, you can do for yourself. Think about your first love.
You know, talk about that shit. Unless your first love, relationship wise, was ended fucked up, you're not gonna think about that shit.
Oh man,
but you can still think about.
Are you still with your first love?
You know, but you're still gonna think about when you first met and how hey.
Are you still with your first love?
No, hell no.
Then it ended fucked up. Then you still with your first love, Bobby? It ended fucked up for you too. Me too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody got a story.
You still remember how that felt?
It's gonna be one way or another. Right. Everybody got a story.
Right.
Everybody. I just rather focus on that part because that's what makes it all worthwhile.
Right.
That part, man.
Sure enough.
That's what makes it all worthwhile, y'all. Keep that, man. Keep that part in your life.
Remember how it started.
Exactly. You know, that's why you do it.
Right.
That's why you do it. Brothers, I want to thank y'all for joining me on this show this afternoon. I missed y'all, man.
Well, we missed you too,
I'm really glad to see y'all again, be back with y'all, and thank y'all for holding the show down and everything. And I really enjoyed this conversation, man.
No, this was good.
Yeah.
I feel like I said.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a week of just what the fuck?
I know. Then we're back to that. You know what I mean? You know. But yeah, man, we just try to change it up. We really do.
Right.
If y'all got some topics y'all like for us to talk about or explore more or bring back, let us know. And we're more than be happy to put that on, as one of our topics. And this coming Wednesday, we got Brother Dwight Morris Jr. coming back to the show. Dwight, we look forward to seeing you, man.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you.
Y'all watch that show live.
Absolutely.
Then we're gonna talk about it Thursday on Thursday.
Yes, we are.
And then again, and then TGIF on Fridays.
Absolutely.
Make sure we're gonna have a good week. So make sure y'all tune in.
Oh yeah.
Make sure y'all tune in and like we said, bring us something what you want to talk about. Let's see what you want talking about. Subjects like this if you want.
Yeah, man.
Something else, or come on the show and I'd rather you come on the show.
Danny coming on to the show talking specifically about.
That's right.
I think it's something about why black women don't want to submit or something like that. It was something crazy. Yeah, can't wait. He's gonna be on the show. Can't wait for y'all to be a part of that. That's gonna be fun. So we're gonna have those emotions. That whole conversation has already been had, if we're really honest with ourselves. In our heads, we already know where we want to go with this. But when you talk about things that make you feel good, like that's important too, man.
Right, sure enough.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about that too, man. Always things that make you.
Right.
And the day of love is coming up, Valentine's. So.
That's right. No, it already passed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, on the
You need more
14th.
love in your life.
Hey, like,
I'm Brother Roman.
Brother Love's didn't give his mama a card on goddamn Valentine's Day. That's Brother Blackhand back there. No love, brother.
We are the Daily Smoke. We are out. Peace.